What is up, everybody? I'm Mitch.
And I'm Dustin, and you are tuned in to the Fatmen Podcast. Welcome.
So as usual, we start out our podcast doing the veteran highlight. And today's veteran highlight, you take hold of this.
Okay. Today's veteran highlight is going to be Joshua. He is a gunner. Is a gunnery sergeant, in the United States Marine Corps. He served over in Afghanistan. We want to give a quick shout out to him and tell him thank you for your service.
Hell yeah. So today we have two very special guests. Whether they're special or special ed, I'm not for sure, but they're one of the two. But it's none other than a couple of guys from the 438th. We're doing what we're calling military mania. That we may not call it that. That sounded stupid as soon as I said it.
It sounded good in his head.
It sounded good in my head, and then after I said it, was no.
Like a lot of things.
Today's episode, we're gonna
is that a pay-per-view event?
We have some questions from our audience, and we're going to kind of talk about our stories and our stupidity from them being in the military. So our guests are Mr. David Poray, and do you like to be called Andrew or Drew?
It don't matter.
Mr. Andrew.
Call him Andy, because that's not one of the two options.
Anything but Andy. I hate Andy.
All right, yeah. Andy Ault, everybody.
So we're just three men and Poray, and we're just going to shoot the shit and talk about stuff. You like my joke that I tell all the time?
It never.
Yeah, I was waiting for it. Yeah, classic.
I know. So we'll start with you, Poray. Can you give us a little rundown? How long have you been in the service? What unit you're with, and just tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah, I've been in for a little over 12 and a half years. I've been in the 438th Chemical Company the whole time. As a 74 Delta Seaburn. And recently got promoted to Staff Sergeant. And what are you laughing at, Ault?
Woot woot.
I wasn't in E5 as long as you. It was a long time, though.
No. All right,
what was the rest of the question? Was that it?
That is.
Let's fucking do this.
Yeah, just tell us a little bit about you. All right, Alt, you give us a little rundown about who you are, where you're from, and how long you've been in.
I've been in the Indiana National Guard about 18 years. I'm a staff sergeant. Was a staff sergeant before Poray. What else?
And a sergeant twice.
I've also been Seabird, sergeant twice. Irrelevant. All minor details.
Fucking semantics.
Point being is I've done everything better than Poray.
Yeah. So can one of you guys? I don't care who answers this. Can one of you guys tell? Right? Somebody that's never been in the military. Can somebody give us a rundown on what our favorite thing to do amongst each other? If you have friends, what's one dynamic?
And you don't have to keep it PG-13.
Nope, you can let loose. What is common in the military amongst friends?
Definitely some shit talking. It's that trauma bonding. If we're not talking shit about someone else, it's each other for sure.
Yeah. Now, who is your favorite person to shit on?
If you just, guy over there. Well, for us on our screen, it's down and to your right. So if you look like the Brady Bunch, there you go. This motherfucker. Where is Poray in relation to us on your screen?
To my left. I'm in the middle.
Okay, so where in relation to us? Which way?
Far left.
Far left. My left. This way. What the fuck is that sound?
It's Poray.
God.
Something's going on with your audio, Poray.
Did they move the fucking washer and dryer next to your computer?
Are they having a tornado over there?
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just sitting here.
Does this sound like the McDonald's drive-thru?
Jesus.
What do you hear?
Can you hear that on your end, Alt?
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you hear?
Okay. Well,
it's like he's using a fucking potato.
This is going to be a podcast between the two of us and Alt, apparently.
So can
you hear me?
Well, let's start out with. Yeah, I can hear you. You sound very
else in your house.
You sound very muffled. Oh, it sounds better. Whatever that sound was went away.
Just cleared up now.
It cleared up a little bit. But so let's talk about some fun memories from the military. We've all been in for. So I've been in the 438th for 16. You've been in for 18. You've been in for 12. You were in for
10.
For 10. So all of us come from the same place. Let's start out with Ault. So I remember you kind of giving us a rundown. You started out in the reserves, and can you tell us what brought you over to the 438th?
Come on, man. All right. So I was in college, and I thought the unit was going to get deployed soon. So I transferred to the National Guard. Yes, yeah. I thought my reserve unit was going to deploy soon. Just got into college. Transferred over to the Guard with the intent of joining ROTC. Did not do that. And then within 2 months of transferring, I deployed.
Where'd you deploy to?
Iraq.
So why? How different was being overseas from the rest of your military career? What was some highs, lows?
Definitely the best part of being in the military. It actually kind of spoiled everything. It's the only time I've ever been treated like an adult. So then when you come back from deployment and you get treated like a child once again, it really kind of takes it out of you. So
yeah.
So for those who are not acquainted with any military and don't understand what it is, take us through a day in the life of a deployed soldier.
It was real simple. Show up where you were told to show up, do your job, don't do anything stupid, get yourself or anyone else killed. That was it. It was like, there was none of this. Make sure you have a battle buddy with you. Make sure you wear your PT belt. None of that bullshit. It was just
fucking PT belt.
Here's your job. Don't fuck it up.
Yeah.
Now I have a question. When you were overseas, so I can't think of what it was called, but the picture of the penis.
Oh, the Dick Bandit.
Yeah, is that where the Dick Bandit was formed?
Yes. That's where the Dick Bandit originated.
Can you tell us a little bit about the Dick Bandit?
Yeah. Man, I could.
It's a shame you
draw.
pictures.
You want me to draw it for you?
I would love it.
All right.
If you draw it.
I got to try to find some paper. Oop, what do you know? There's paper right there.
And Poray's gone.
Poray is gone.
And we waited on Poray. Well, I don't have an ink pen, so I can't draw it. But
that's okay.
Write it with your blood.
Found it. Okay. So the Dick Bandit started as a joke on one of our sergeants. He was kind of a hard ass, and he had a big giant dry erase board. So outside of his room, this big dry erase board where we're supposed to say, hey, we're going to the gym or anything like that. That way, if there's like an alarm or an accountability, they know where we're at.
Yeah.
Because the base was pretty big. So I drew this big giant superhero penis. And I'm going to draw it real quick for you guys.
It was beautiful.
So was this something that would just sporadically show up on the board from time to time after they'd erase it again, or what?
Well, no, I only did it twice. The first time I did it, actually, hold on, let me finish drawing it so I can give you a little more.
Concentrate.
And then
I can do it real good.
We'll lead into another story about the Dick Bandit here in a
Yeah. So this is what it looks. That is a Sharpie. There we go. That is
Get a
a
little closer to
Sharpie.
the camera there.
That's a Sharpie in its hand.
Okay.
That's a masterpiece.
So anyway, I drew it, and this was like to scale, like 1.5 feet, 2 foot tall penis, dressed like Zorro. And we did it on this dry erase board, and then we went back to our CP, which was like our little hangout area. We didn't say anything rest of the day. Obviously, at the end of the day, when he went back to his little hooch, he saw it. And the next morning was the best part. It's like 7:30 in the morning. We're all sitting there, waiting to be told what we're going to do today. And then Sergeant Crow, he comes in, he starts handing out pen and paper to everybody, and he's like, I need everyone to draw Dick right now. And we're like, what? He's like, I said draw Dick right now. So everyone's drawing these dicks. And of course, I have to draw a penis as well. I was reluctant at first, but he was like, oh, you better draw Dick right fucking now. So I drew another penis that I will also demonstrate. That looked like that. Right. And then he was like, Ault, is that really how you draw a dick? And I'm like, yeah, how do you draw a dick? So he didn't know who was a Dick Bandit. And then I waited about a week. We did it again. And this time I couldn't keep my poker face. And he figured out it was me.
So that was the dick you drew, huh?
Yeah.
So that's the origin story of the Dick Bandit.
That is now.
When we went to Slovakia,
allegedly,
when we went to Slovakia, somehow, some way, the Dick Bandit reappeared.
Allegedly, it was.
If somebody were to have done it, can you tell us how they would have done it? Can you tell us like the setup if somebody were to have done it?
Well, you'd have to sneak into the motor pool.
Get past the guards.
Yeah, past the guards. Do not climb the fence. You just talk to the guard, tell me you forgot something. And just walk over there and you scribble a little penis on a couple different vehicles, allegedly.
A couple $1 million vehicles.
With a Sharpie?
Of course not.
The funniest thing is...
Dry erase markers only.
The funniest thing is the next day. Out of all the next day, he was so nervous that he was going to get caught that he started pawning off his markers, to getting rid of all of his Sharpie.
So there's no evidence.
And he gave them to Long. I remember that you gave it to Long.
Yeah. Long. So this was a sanctioned operation. Okay, I won't disclose the name of the individuals who sanctioned it, but the next day there was a bunch of cop cars in the parking lot, and come to find out it was the escort.
Now he's back.
And we, obviously I see all the cop cars there. I'm freaking out. I'm thinking, oh my God, someone saw, and there's like a vandalism report. And one of my soldiers, I think he was a specialist, maybe Long. Yeah. I'm like, hey, take this dry erase marker. I don't need it no more. Of course, that's not why they were there. They were there for a vehicle escort. So, but the individuals who sanctioned the event thought they could mess with me, and they did a good job. They had me scared. They're like, tell about some vandalism, and I'm like, oh shit, what? Definitely wasn't me.
Yeah, we hear Sergeant Major's coming.
Mm-hmm.
That was back whenever Davis was our first sergeant, wasn't it?
I don't know names. No names.
Oh yeah, no names. Somebody.
We're talking Slovakia.
You know exactly what we're talking about, don't you, Poray?
Probably Slovakia, a certain bandit.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yep.
Maybe.
Allegedly.
Allegedly is our favorite word, right?
I also want to mention, and I wish Seaton was here for this. Seaton likes to retell this story. He may or may not have been in the vicinity of the Dick Bandit. But he was trying to impress some Navy SEALs one time. And he was telling them, that guy, and he was pointing at me. He was like, that guy, he's an idiot. He likes to draw dicks. And then the SEAL was like, that guy?
Like you compulsively draw penises.
Yes. And then the SEAL told Seaton, I'm the smartest guy in the unit. Because I draw dicks.
That's funny as shit.
True story. You can ask him. Ask him at drill.
I will.
He won't acknowledge it. He hates it because he thought he was looking cool. But come to find out, the SEALs like me more.
Remember You remember whenever we had the Israelis come down and they put me and you in charge of babysitting them whenever they went out drinking? Like of all people, they put me and you. They're like, you can have 2 drinks, and we're like, okay. And we get there, and the Israelis, it's like they've never drank before, and we almost had a couple fights. We're like, we're gonna have an international incident here.
Yeah, it was not fun.
Nope. Good times. All right, so Poray, what's one of your favorite stories?
Well, favorite stories. Well, let's see. Ault already talked about the bandit. Again, we'll try to do this without, keep the names and, locations and units anonymous. Protect the innocent here. I remember when we were having a certain...
Nobody's innocent in this story.
Right. A certain, I don't know, you could call it like a javelin throwing contest. Me, another guest on this podcast. And, we call it javelin. It was more like, like a plastic stake. Well, it wasn't like one. It was one. So, a certain sergeant first class, who shall remain nameless, who wasn't a sergeant first class at the time, he decides to show us how awesome he is. And, of course, he cheats. Certain
this
shiny-headed sergeant first class.
Does
Okay. It's not The Godfather.
No,
not The Godfather.
No,
okay.
shiny-headed. Probably E6 at the time, I'm guessing.
Oh, okay. I know exactly who you're talking about.
So first of all, he cheats.
Theorist.
He cheats, first of all. He chucks... This is, we're doing like, we're doing some surf P stuff. That's about as specific as I'll get. He cheats. He chucks it with 2 hands. It's flying through the air. It's soaring. The sun is glistening off it through the air in slow motion. And all of a sudden, it just... Right into a trailer that belonged to not us. Pierces a hole right through the thing. It was fairly glorious. The culprit was never found out, but just say it wasn't our trailer. It wasn't really an army trailer, somebody else's trailer, but that was pretty fun. I also remember you, Lunsford.
Somebody's trailer that shall be remained unnamed.
Lunsford, I remember you flying off the seat on the bus. You're laying down.
Oh, after my back surgery?
Yeah, you're laying down on the bus and you had your feet up on the seat next to you, and I was sitting in front of you on the other side. And whoever was driving wasn't paying attention. Slammed on the brakes, and you go flying off the seat, like a 4-year-old. Kick me in the back, and you're just laying there writhing on the pain and on the ground in pain. Like that, something else. You look around, and there's a Stifler behind. He's got milk coming out of his nose because he's laughing at you so hard. That was a funny one. I can remember that one.
Fucking Stifler.
Good old times.
There's lots of stories.
So do what?
Go ahead.
You're still cutting out pretty bad.
Yeah, what did you say?
I just said there's lots of stories, but...
Oh, yeah. So, talking about lots of stories, Ault, can you dive in on Poray's special ability on recognizing people?
Yes. So, in our group, right, we're all like Avengers. We all have our superpowers, right? I'm like Thor, the most powerful Avenger, and Poray, he's like Hawkeye. His one power is the uncanny ability to pick out what dude is walking in front of him from a very far distance, allegedly by the way they walk. But clearly he has a photographic memory of everyone's asses.
That's what I was going to say. It's the ass.
Yeah.
It's the walk, I'm
That's
telling
funny
you.
as shit.
He walks around with his phone down here taking pictures as he walks.
Hey, it's your lie. You can tell it how you want.
No,
So
you work with people a lot. Everyone's wearing the same thing. So am I cutting out still?
I know that he can pick out my ass from a mile away. That's all I know.
You don't have one.
Well, my lack of ass.
I was going to say, there is no ass.
There is no ass.
You're like a frog standing up.
I am like a frog
It's
standing
also
up.
the fact that you're 5'4" makes it
So do you have any... I have no clue what you said. You cut out completely.
You sound like a drunk Mr. Spell.
Well, I'm having internet problems here, but
like C-3PO over there.
C-3PO having an orgasm.
I can hear you all just fine.
Is there any way to adjust? Is there any way to adjust your microphone volume?
Can you put the phone in the next room, maybe?
No, I'm on the computer.
Are you on your phone or on your computer?
Computer.
Oh, okay.
Is there any way to go into your settings and adjust the microphone audio? Bring it down just a smidge.
I know what you're going to ask. I've already divulged all of my stories in previous podcasts.
Well, what I was going to ask is, so you served with Ault.
Uh-huh.
Did you serve with Poray?
Briefly.
Do you have any stories about Ault or memories from your time in with Ault? Or were you guys really that?
We weren't real close when we were serving. I mean, I got along with everybody and shot the shit with everybody, but Ault and I weren't. I mean,
you guys ran in different groups.
Yeah, I mean, I hung around mostly with Alton.
Oh yeah. I remember him.
The big cheesed goofball dick motherfucker.
I saw Ault a couple of years after he got out.
Did
oh really?
He looks like a fucking surfer boy now.
Yeah.
Have you seen him recently?
Last time I saw him,
he's got long ass hair and a fucking rooster stash and shit. He looks like a He looks like a goober. Love the dude to death though.
You remember Cheeseman? He messaged,
yeah.
He messaged me not that long ago.
The only memories I really have of Ault is as him sitting back in the fucking chair in the hangar with his hand down his pants, bitching about how he wished he could go home.
That was fucking everybody. All right, that could have been anybody.
He was in during the worst part of the 438th too. Remember whenever everything was all kinds of shit fuckered? We had 3 different units, or was it 3 or 4 different units with us?
It was. I got in right. I'd say it was like a year before Mifflin was no longer First Sergeant, and then we got Sarson.
Good old Sarson. Yep.
Hey, is that any better?
That is a lot better. Yeah, that is a lot better. You were blowing out our eardrums.
I apologize.
It was either eardrums or assholes. You have to pick. You can't blow out both of them.
We'll go eardrum.
But
Damn. I mean, great.
Son of a bitch. So pretty much, actually, I think all 3 of you at one point have been my team leader or in my leadership at some point. Because whenever you were a 5, I was under you for a brief time.
Yeah, for a couple months.
And then you're my staff sergeant, I've been under you a couple times.
As an E5 and an E6.
Yeah.
Well, I've been under all of you at one point.
I mean, leadership-wise.
I don't mean in the military.
You're my E5 now.
So, I am your E5 now.
You could probably
so I was going to give you guys an opportunity to shit on me. You guys, I'm sure have some stories.
The only story I have of you is when you had a fucking heat stroke during
the PT
during
test.
The fucking PT test. Yeah.
It was the best fucking PT test I ever took too.
Yeah, that was the day. The day after I completed my CLS training.
Oh yeah,
and I was like, I gotta fucking use it.
So we were it was when we were still over at the Maple Armory, and I had worked so hard to do my best on my PT test, and it was the best PT test I will have ever taken. Yep. I ran like a 13:54. I was flying. And
you didn't think those little legs could go that fast.
No. But the thing that
like a little corgi.
The thing that I didn't take into account is I got shit faced the night before. And so I stopped. Ran all the way around the track, that last one, and I stopped right at the finish line. And I
just fucking collapsed.
I just collapsed right there. The next thing I know, I see this big guy hanging over top of me.
Well, I was standing inside, and they fucking come running in. They were like, CLS, and I was like, what? And they were like, we got a fucking casualty. And I took off running outside, grabbed my fucking CLS bag, and hauling ass out there. And fucking Lunsford's just fucking sprawled out with his eyes closed.
Do they still send people to CLS classes?
No,
Is that a thing?
They just let soldiers die now.
I don't think it's a thing anymore either.
No, I think everybody, huh?
They just let soldiers die now.
You froze. Oh yeah, we just let soldiers die.
Yeah.
Your connection is terrible.
I'm telling you, he's using a fucking potato.
Are you like connected on the Etch sketch or what?
It's the
the bad thing is we can't give you an opportunity. We can't give you.
We can't do back and forth banter because it's like a fucking 20-second relay.
We can't give you an opportunity to defend yourself.
I can try to
talk shit, and then you're like,
hold on.
Like it's taken you as long to respond as it takes you to mow your grass.
No, it takes someone else to mow this grass.
I'm just joking.
Hey, Poray, why don't you ask that little kid across the street to respond for you?
Just to let you guys know, we make fun of each other because we like each other.
He's just gonna fucking put up a cardboard cutout of himself staring at the screen and leave.
He's actually not frozen right now.
That's what it is right now. It's the cutout right now. Yeah.
So what did you tell him about? What did you say about him having somebody else mow his grass?
Yeah, we discussed this before we started recording the podcast, so you gotta reiterate.
I don't know if I want to. That's a little low blow.
No, go ahead. So having another man mow your grass is what?
It's like having another man roll your wife. It just ain't right. It just ain't right.
You just don't do it. That's right. Mow your own fucking. Oh, David left again.
We keep scaring him away.
He's like a mole. He just pops up from time to time. We say something. He's like, and he runs off.
Is this different than you thought this podcast would be like?
No, I mean, I wasn't expecting him to have shit internet.
I don't think any of us were.
It's like back.
So while he's gone, so for everybody that's watching, one thing that is common in the military is you're bored a lot. Like there's boredom gets the best of you, and how you make it through is you come up with some of the stupidest things just to get through.
Some of the dumbest fucking games you could imagine.
Yeah, there's been a group that has infiltrated the 438th Chemical Company, and almost like a cult, if you will, and
I know it's not LGBTQ.
They're. Can you elaborate about? You know exactly what I'm talking about. Can you elaborate about this organization that has developed at the 438th Chemical Company?
You must be referring to the legendary Amegos. For the record, there were 3 Amegos prior to the Amegos you know.
Right now, I feel like we need to have like Sarah McLachlan come onto the screen and have their pictures slide. Do you? I can't finish it because they'll demonetize this. But
like the ASPCA,
I'll have to pay for that.
And just have Stifler and Smizer and everybody.
Yeah, the Amegos were just a group of dudes who, through means of persuasion, always seem to get out of the shit details or somehow get themselves in a position of preference. So a nice way of saying we get to sham. We know how to sham out of the shit we don't want to do.
Well, because it started whenever you were, wearing the sham shield.
The E4 Mafia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You took the E4 Mafia to the next level, right?
Yes, and then we were E5s.
So who actually came up with the idea of the Amegos? Allegedly.
So the original Amegos was actually Walker, Smithson, and Sarson.
Oh, really?
Those were the original Amigos.
So it wasn't your idea.
It definitely wasn't. Those
I didn't
were the
know this.
original Amigos. But
I feel like I need to do a deep dive documentary on the Amigos now.
I would say pretty much after Walker. And then Walker became the Godfather, and then we became the Amigos.
The Amigos Coda.
So whenever, so just to give another backstory, the 438th Chemical Company is getting disbanded, and they're going to Florida. And so whenever that happens in 2026, are you going to have to go down to Florida and train the new Amigos? No.
No hesitation.
They got to figure that shit out.
It doesn't go with the company.
No.
What are you gonna do? Are you gonna be out by then? By the time we disband?
When's your ETS?
I'm probably gonna get out
retirement, whichever.
The January shortly afterwards.
Oh man, that sucks. I'm really actually really disappointed about it. I would have liked to retire with our company.
Yeah,
but it sucks because you miss out just by a couple months.
Yeah, well, yeah. I'm going to tell them, I'm like, I ain't reclassing to shit. I'm going to hang out for 2 months, and then I'm gone. So,
yeah,
whatever. Sign
month,
me up for school in June, but I'm retiring in January. So,
yeah,
you do what you got to do. I don't care.
Drop that 20-year letter.
Yeah.
Hey.
Now, I have a question, because you've been to the retirement briefs.
I have not.
Oh, you haven't?
I am not. I should have been to 2.
Okay.
I was unable to attend either one.
I was going to ask you, is it true that you, when once you get your 20-year letter, can you really, literally be like, I'm fucking done, and just drop that paper whenever? I know that there's a process, but how does it really work?
I'm not entirely certain. My understanding is once you have the letter, you can say, hey, I'm going to retire here in February or whatever. And I mean, there's an out processing. So, and that probably takes roughly 90 days. So it's not like I show up to Sunday drill and I'm like dropping
Fuck
it.
You
like,
guys.
Fuck you, I'm out.
Yeah.
There is a process.
No, I got
like
you.
Cartman. Yeah, I'm going.
So, one of my favorite stories that you told was it Ault Federation?
We're gonna talk about the Ault Federation. You're gonna try to get me on a watch list, ain't you?
As if you're not already. Come on.
In a possible post-apocalyptic environment, any of those in the vicinity of God's country, which is south of Highway 50, as everyone knows.
Medora?
Yeah. I will be starting my own federation known as the Ault Federation. Yep. So feel free to join if the government collapses. That's what we're going to do.
And the zombie apocalypse happens?
Yeah, zombies, whatever it may be.
Is the Ault Federation logo going to be the Dick Bandit?
Nope. I'm a little more, crap, what's the word I'm looking
PC?
For?
That's the wrong word for Ault.
I don't remember the word, but it's like self-centered or egotistical. I don't know.
So it's going to be a picture of you?
No, it's not going to be a picture
just
of me.
Just your fucking face.
It's going to be a big golden A with oak leaf clusters around it. Yeah. Already got an anthem picked out. The Imperial March, you know.
I remember, so one of the first times that not the first time, I got a story about the first time I really met him, but one of the first times that I met him, I walked in when we were over at Building 9. We used to have these cages for the platoons, and we were all in there waiting and wasting time. And I walk in, and he was like, the first words I heard out of his mouth was, so we're going to take over an island. And the first person that I see, I'm going to shoot him in the face just to let him know that I mean business. And I'm like, what are you talking about? The zombie apocalypse. Okay, you caught my attention.
No. I still stand by that strategy. It is fundamentally sound. and it works in so many instances. Everyone knows zombies cannot swim,
or open doors.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, my plan was invade Cuba, take Cuba over, because ocean currents, zombies can't make it.
Yeah.
What was the name of that fucking? It was like an old oil rig from back in the day. It's just this fucking floating piece of concrete in the middle of the fucking water, and they declared themselves their own country. You know what I'm talking about?
It sounds familiar.
Yeah, they got their own fucking flag and their own currency and all this shit. It's just out in the middle of the fucking water. You got to take a boat out there to get to it. And there's the population is like fucking 10 people.
I don't know.
That sounds badass.
Yeah, hang on, let me do some.
So
Excuse me while I look this up.
So one of the first times that I really met Ault, it was whenever he first became my team leader, and we were over at Holman Field, and we were breaking for lunch, and he was like, "Lunsford, you want to go grab a bite to eat?" I'm like, "Sure." And so we take off and we go to the Sonic, and I've never heard anybody order Sonic like this before, but it's changed the way that I've ordered Sonic since then. You've inspired me, but we. We drive up to the drive-through, and the lady asked, "What do you want?" And he was like, "I'll take a foot of wiener." And then he was like, "You know what? Make that 2 foot of wiener." And she was like, "Are you sure?" He was like, "I think I can handle it." It was the funniest. That was how, like, we had no conversations prior to this. I was like, I think I'm gonna like this guy.
Yes, I've done that with quite a few people, and a lot of people are uncomfortable with that.
That's how I order Sonic now. You inspired
you should.
me.
You should.
Okay, so the concrete structure in the ocean declared itself a country is called Sealand. Okay, it's also known as the Principality of Sealand, which was a former World War II British military platform, and it was located in the North Sea and considered a micronation by most countries, and it claims to be an independent state, is what it is. So
that's the next Ault nation.
Yes, here's the picture. I'm not sure if you can see it or not. It's an independent state called Sealand. Are you on which camera is he
It's
on?
that camera.
That one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I've seen that before.
Yeah.
Yes, that would be awesome.
Yeah. It's just a fucking old. It looks like shit. It's considered the smallest country in the world, actually.
Do they get to join the Olympics?
No, they do not, because it's an old fat guy that owns it.
Doesn't matter. He should get to represent himself.
Yeah.
What Olympic sport would Ault nation be known for?
Oof.
Taking 2 foot of wiener.
Hot dog eating contest. No. Ooh.
I
have been working on my break dancing, so I think I can make that happen.
Australia already beat you to that one.
What other Olympic sport? Cornhole for sure. Dominate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gold medalist right here.
That's awesome.
If dominoes ever became a sport.
I don't even know how to play dominoes, but I'm badass at cornhole.
That's awesome.
I think you should invade Sealand for Ault Nation.
Oof.
I don't think Poray's coming back.
I don't think he is either.
I think we lost
he
him.
He just went to bed. He got sick of us.
Do we still make fun of him?
Okay.
Yes. Of course we do.
He's going to watch this fucking episode because he was partially in it, so we'll have to keep talking shit.
What did they say about me? What did they...
Oh, shit.
We love to give Poray a hard time.
Yes, we do.
And the thing is like, honestly, like, out of everybody in our group, I probably give him the least hard time out of everybody. But if the moment that I start, he, like, gets spiteful immediately. Like, it's immediately, like, you say something to Poray about looking at asses, and he was like, at least I'm not a fat piece of shit, you know?
Yes.
At least when he said one time, he was like, "Thank God we don't have to salute at our hairline because you'd be saluting all the way back here." I was like, I just said hi.
Yes. Poray can get salty. he knows if he tries to come back at me and Seaton, it's just gonna get worse. Like, he just takes it. Like, he just knows he's not gonna win. So when I give him shit, it just runs right off at him. If you give him shit,
right off his back.
Yeah, if you give him shit, he feels the need to defend himself.
Yeah,
I think it's
to belittle me.
I think it's because you're so much shorter than him. He doesn't.
Maybe that's what it is. He wants to demasculate me. That's what it is.
He's intimidated by your lack of stature.
So we talked a little bit before the podcast. One of my favorite things that you do is you call him up randomly and be like, "Poray, you're a bitch," and then you hang up.
Yes, we do shenanigans like that quite a bit.
You're going to be doing that until you're 80 years old, aren't you?
You know what you need to do is change the voicemail on your phone to just say, "Poray, you're a bitch," and then make sure he calls you at some point.
Poray, he gets it. He gets quite the beating. Poray's been he was my soldier for a long time, so I've kind of mentored him, took him underneath my wing. So that's why I'm always especially hard on Poray.
He's what he is because of you, right?
Exactly. I got to take credit for all of that, and I want to apologize for all of that.
Right now you could take all kinds of credit for him.
Oh, I taught him everything he fucking knows.
I mean, I already did.
And I'll tell you what, I'll cut that clip out and send it to him. just so 10,000 people is watching this, they'll all know that he is everything that he is because of you.
That is true. I mean, that is true.
Just tell everybody that he is who he is because of you, and then he's going to become the janitor for Ault Nation.
And I did tell him he could have a role in the Ault Federation. Obviously, it would be a low-level role. Can't trust him with anything important.
Isn't he? Is he still a probie for the Amegos?
He's been trying. Yes.
Is there a hazing process for the Amegos?
Yeah, he's been trying for years. He even tried his own little group called the El Diablos. Did not work. He refuses to follow the initiation process.
For the tattoo?
All he needs is a 3 sombrero tramp stamp, and he's in. Like it's all you gotta do, bro. He won't do it, so he's a prospect for the time being.
The funniest thing, Moore, I loved Moore, but he wanted to be an Amigo so bad. And when we were in Slovakia, he was Amigo 4, right?
So they were establishing call signs, and then Seaton was like, "Well, what should we call ourselves?" And he's like, "What about Amigos?" And then Moore was like, "We could all be Amigos for a day." And then Seaton was like, "Nope, scratching that. We're not Amigos. We're gonna be dragons."
That's funny. That's funny as can be.
I like the impersonation. Spot on. That was spot on.
We can all be Amigos for a day. Moore's final drill, we made him an honorary Amigo. On his final drill, we made him an honorary Amigo.
His whole entire life.
So he got to be an Amigo before Poray.
I seen him the other day, and believe it or not, I shit you not, he has a tramp stamp of 3 sombreros now. He wears short shirts so everybody can see
short shirts and hip huggers
with a little thong in the back.
That's right.
Got the whale tail sticking out.
Josh Moore, if you're watching this, we love you.
I'm not gonna name any names, but there was a sergeant when I was in RSD before I ever went off to basic. When I was in RSD with the 438th, there was a sergeant that was there. He was one of the RSD sergeants, and the day that I found out that he had a legit fucking tramp stamp, it was like tribal art tramp stamp.
I know who you're talking about.
Does he also have a Jacob's ladder?
He might. I don't know.
And his nipples pierced because I seen that the moment I see it met.
So when I was, mind you, haven't even been off to fucking basic yet, so I don't have a fucking hair on my nuts to be fucking saying any kind of bullshit. But I'm standing in there and we're doing, I don't even remember what it was we're doing, but he's been over doing something. I glance over and I see this fucking shit sticking out from his pants, and I'm like, the fuck is that? And I yelled at him. I hollered his name. I said, Sergeant, and I yelled his name, and he turned around. And I said, what the fuck is that? And I pointed at it, and he goes, what are you talking about? I said, you got a fucking tramp stamp. And he goes, mind your fucking business, and he tucked his shirt back in. So from that day forward, every day I'd go to RSD, I'd call him Sergeant Tramp Stamp. And he gets so fucking pissed off at me, and he'd smoke me all the time.
I know exactly what you're talking about because I saw it and I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Wait, is this isn't who I thought it was. Do I know who this person is?
This person wasn't with the 438th very long after I got there. I think they either got out or transferred.
So it was probably,
I think he transferred.
Yeah.
So it was probably before me.
Yeah, it was before you. He was gone before you got there.
Okay. Then it wasn't who I thought. I thought you were talking about somebody that was he was an MP and he had a Jacob's ladder. And do you know who I'm talking about? Starts with
I don't even know what a Jacob's ladder is.
He had his dick pierced.
No.
And the moment
that's called like a Prince Albert.
Maybe I don't know.
Well, that's just the hole, the tip. I think a Prince Albert's a tip.
Well,
Jacob's ladder where you get the studs going down the shaft.
I walk by
one of the surf.
Yeah, no shit. Right? But I walked by one of the Surf P tents or trailers, and he was in S&E, and he was like, "Hey, Lunsford." I'm like, yes, sir. He's like, check this out, and I seen his dick. That's how I found out.
I know who you're talking about.
You know exactly who I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
His name starts with the same thing that my name starts with.
Yes.
Yes. But you know who you are if you're watching.
Do I know who he is?
Probably.
No, I think you were out by that point in time.
Okay, no, I never met him.
Could you hear me say that?
No.
I hope so.
Okay.
Oh, damn it.
We try not to mention names unless we know that they wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
But
I highly doubt
I'm not throwing the Sergeant Tramp Stamp under the bus, but as long as Ault knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yes.
No. Good shit.
That's an image that unfortunately has fucking seared itself into my retina, and I will never forget.
Do you know what image seared itself into my head that I'll never forget?
My butthole.
Do you know Poncho Man? Do you remember Poncho Man? He's still in our unit.
You gotta remember Poncho Man.
You have to remember. He ran through.
Starts with an R. His last name.
Did he have booty shorts on?
I was gonna say he's got a scar.
Booty camp. Sorry, do you remember that? So
Juicy.
Oh man.
Yeah, it was the poncho liner, wasn't it?
Yeah. So I'll let you guys know if you guys aren't in, and you've never heard of Poncho Man. He is legendary. What he is usually he's the fastest person in the company, but this person, he wears nothing but the poncho as a cape. He'll wear his combat boots and his gas mask, and he can't have any identifying characteristics, which now doesn't work out. Now doesn't work out so well for him because he has a very identifying characteristic. But and then they run through the whole entire company area, butt ass naked, and he ran through everywhere. And all I seen was he ran by, he stopped at my bunk, shook his dick around, and then took off. I was like, what the fuck? I'm just minding my own business, probably talking to whoever my girl was at the time. And I just look up and I was like, what did I get myself into? That's the thing. That's the thing about the military is
a lot of stupid shit.
I made a video the other day, and it was kind of to the gist of like you hate it the whole entire time, but you probably won't get out because you've built all these trauma bonds with all the people that you've been there with, and you're not there because you like the Army. You're there because you like the people. And then you get out. If you do get out, then you wish you were back into the shithole that you spent your
I
time
can speak
in.
from experience that every fucking day I miss the military. And it's not because the military was cool. It's because of the fucking people that came with it. I miss the camaraderie. I miss the family. I miss it all.
And if you think about it, it's because we're just a whole bunch of toddlers that they give guns to.
Yep.
like it's like if they gave. I shouldn't. I'm not going to say that because I'll shut my mouth.
I like to think of it as mandatory bro time.
Yes.
Yep.
That's what it is.
Yep.
And then like the one thing that would piss me off is so like my ex-wife, she's like, you just go there and hang out with your friends. I was like, no, you don't get it. It's not like we're just shooting the shit, hanging out, doing fun stuff. We're doing miserable shit that we figure out a way to make that miserable shit fun, like in the midst of it. Mm-hmm. So
like the time that we were all in a fucking convoy on the way to Muscatatuck, and it was me. Fuck, I don't remember who was in the back. I think it was Schimmel. It may have been Schimmel. And Ault was in the passenger seat, and I was driving one of the GSAs. And we were blaring the stupidest fucking music. And we had Sergeant Mack in front of us in one of the trucks.
I know exactly what the story is.
And we had this fucking music. And we of course, the convoy, we'd pull up to stoplights and shit, and we'd stop, and the music was just blaring. We were playing like Britney Spears and Barbie Girl and shit, just the dumbest fucking music. And we're over there fucking just fist pumping out the fucking window as we're driving, screaming and the lyrics to the songs and shit. And we get up to this fucking to a fuel point, and we stop, and fucking Matt gets out, and he goes, who's the stupid motherfuckers that were fist pumping out the window the whole fucking drive? And we're like, oh, shit. So I raised my hand. I was like, that was us, aren't? And he was just like, just fucking drop. He wasn't even amused at all. He was just fucking pissed. And he was like, just fucking drop. And I was like, all right. So we're sitting there at the fucking fuel point, just fucking doing push-ups in the parking lot.
I thought you were going to tell us the story of, you'll know exactly who I'm talking about.
Piss bottle?
Yeah.
Oh,
do you remember the piss bottle?
On the bus. You got to remember that. What was his name?
Lloyd.
Remember when Lloyd fucking pissed in it? We were on the bus. We were driving. Lloyd had to piss, and they wouldn't stop. So he pissed in this fucking water bottle, right?
But he didn't have a lid?
He didn't have a lid to it, and he didn't want to spill it on himself. So he opens the fucking window and just chucks the fucking bottle out and holding it. And just the piss is just flying behind the bus.
And it gets all over Matt's car.
Sergeant Matt's driving his fucking personal vehicle behind the bus, and it's just coating. You see his windshield wipers kicking on and shit. He gets up there and he goes, was it fucking raining on the drive up here?
And he had his windows open too.
And fucking Lloyd's dumbass fesses up, dude. He was like, oh, that was me. I'm sorry. He just says it was a piss bottle. And fucking Mac was, I thought he was going to fucking lay hands on him. He was so pissed. He made him go inside and buy a bottle of fucking Windex and come out and clean his fucking car.
I do remember that now.
Man. So fucking, I don't think I've ever seen that dude that mad. It was fucking hilarious. I took everything in me not to fucking laugh because I was like, I don't want to get smoked next to him. I'm going to stay shut up.
and that's the military in a nutshell.
Yeah, that's life in the Army.
Yeah. And like the thing is they say that the military is the most some of the most educated people on the planet. We only make up 2% of the nation's population and of all the military combined. But then you see them, and some of these people, like I'm surprised they can put on their own fucking pants, and you're just like, oh yeah, how did you make it here? And they give us guns. They give us guns to shoot and protect people, but you have to make the best of it. You have to have fun and honestly, they're some of the best memories I've ever had. Looking back on it,
I agree. I don't regret a day of it, and I'd do it all again in a heartbeat if I could.
I don't regret a day of it, but I have days where I regret it. If that makes sense.
You got a little jizz on your lip. You got it.
All right.
Let's chew.
So are you looking forward to retirement? Are you not looking forward to it? Like what? Or do you have mixed feelings?
No. I'm done.
You're done.
20 years I did my time.
Over it. Yeah.
I'm over it.
See, what pisses me off is if I'd have stayed in, I'd be doing my 20 years right now too.
I'm almost there.
I should have just fucking toughed it out, man.
That's where my brother
but
is.
I did 10, and I was like, well, see, when they fucked me out of that last deployment, that's what pissed me off, when they did that Seaburn shit, and they were like, oh, you're on this fucking Homeland Security contract, and then everybody fucking deployed, and I was stuck there jerking my dick, and I was like, all right, well, I'm done with this. Like, everybody deployed with the 76, and I was just fucking chilling. And it pissed me off, and I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm ETSing after my contract's up.
See, some of my favorite times has been, getting to go to Slovakia. The time that you and I went together was not the fun time. It was the time after that.
It's only because you were there.
Yeah, that's exactly. That was the time that Seaton almost stabbed me in the face.
Oh, I remember.
I haven't heard that story.
So,
Was this intentional?
He was
even better. Okay, continue.
Okay. So we would just be stupid and mess around with people, but Seaton was the exception. So you could get away with joking around and being stupid and all that. Seaton, he has a hard rule: do not touch him. Like he doesn't want you to tap him on the shoulder. Well, I may have pushed my boundaries as far as I could with him prior to this, but I deny that happening. And we had just been on an 18-hour flight, and so he had it. Well, he was sitting on the bus in front of me, and I had a legitimate thing. I was like, "Hey, man," and I just barely tapped him on the shoulder, and I hear click, and he has his pocket knife, and he's like, "Leave me alone," and starts stabbing behind him. And that knife came this close to my face. And Poray was like, "You almost killed the motherfucker." He was like, "He knows my limits now."
Yes.
Yeah. So I didn't really molest people. I want to clarify that. I might take that part out.
Yeah,
No,
you need to edit that for sure.
Too late now. You're leaving that in.
We're going to have a sharp brief this coming month.
So do we need an AAR after this fucking podcast?
Yeah. Things not to say on the podcast.
That's right.
But no, we really do appreciate you being here and
Poray. No, never mind.
Yeah. To anybody that's watching, we started this podcast out with two brave souls, and we ended up with one. We lost. This is where the Sarah McLachlan music will come in. Show Poray. He used to be on here, but no, he had poor connection. But no, either way, we really appreciate the both of you guys being on here. I'm glad that you were able to stick around, and we just we had a blast talking about the military experiences. And so, if anybody's at home and never served, or if you have served and you want to tell us some of your stories, please reach out to us on the Fatmen community page. On Facebook. We also have the Fatmen Project page on Facebook. But
and we're also on TikTok.
Yep, the
Fatman Project and the Fatman community.
Yeah, and so with that, sorry, I had the burps from the Ghost energy drink. But with that, we do talk about fitness and weight loss and all that stuff, and we talk about our journey on getting healthier and doing better, and we talk about leadership, but we also explore our military background because I think that it's important. Like I said, we're part of the 2%, and I feel like there's so many of you guys out there that we want to give you guys a platform as well. So if you do have any stories to share, or if you have a fitness journey or weight loss journey, or if you're a trainer and you'd like to come on the podcast, please reach out to us. We would love to have you.
100%.
You can find, like we said, you can find us on Facebook, TikTok, YouTube. Watch the full podcast episodes every Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Also, pull on the Lunsford here. Sorry. Before we do every podcast, now we do TikTok lives. So if you guys want to get some. Should have kissed your finger. I licked it or something.
Started sucking on my finger.
It probably tastes like your dip. But, or your butthole, whichever. Yeah. But if you want to jump in there and get some candid behind the scenes footage, with us and shoot the shit and jump in the chats and talk to us, ask questions, we can answer questions. Shoot the shit back and forth. We always do the TikTok lives as we're setting up for every podcast. So. Yeah. And again, check us out on TikTok. It is the Fatman community. Or, excuse me, the lives are on the Fatman Project. I'm sorry.
Yep. And then with that, we just want to say thank you so much to everybody who's been positive and shown us all the support. Mm-hmm. We're almost to 10,000 followers, so thank you guys so much. We really appreciate it, and we're working on building the YouTube channel up as well. But, reach out to us. We'd love to share your story. And to Andrew Ault, thank you for being on here. We really appreciate it. We've had fun.
Andy Ault.
Andy Ault.
Not until I retire. Then it's Andy.
But no, we appreciate you coming on and shooting the
thanks,
shit.
buddy.
Tell us some stories and having some good laughs.
It's been good to see you again.
So one
I'm
thing
here,
that,
Dustin.
one thing that we do like to end this on, and even though we were shooting the shit and joking around, do you have any good words of wisdom for somebody that starting something new? It doesn't matter, just any good words of wisdom that you could give somebody.
If you ain't first, you're last.
That's
my motto.
I like it.
He's gonna stand up in his underwear. I'm on fire, sweet Jesus.
I'll take it.
I like it. That's the best closing statement I've ever heard.
It is.
If you ain't first, you're last.
Well, guys, I'm Mitch.
And I'm Dustin.
And this is the Fatmen Podcast.
Thanks for hanging out with us.
Don't be a bitch.
Adios.